thank you for listening to me speak today. My name is James Inman, and I thoroughly appreciate you all being here. Every Monday morning, students all over the world at every age wake up to the awful beeping of the alarm clock and have to get up for school. Believe me, I've been there too, and it's not much fun. A mixture of not getting enough sleep and only having 2 days off to recover makes this awful tough on a lot of students. Now, imagine sleeping in on Monday mornings and just getting the extra day to recover and rest and get other work done. A lot of school districts in the United States are slowly leaning towards this 4-day school week. As with most big controversial topics, there are obviously pros and cons, but I will convince you that the pros greatly outweigh the cons. Critics say that students would have nothing to do on their extra day and they wouldn't retain as much information, but I find this to be flat out not true. Switching to a 4-day school week would be beneficial to all involved because it would help cut down on financial liabilities, morale of both students and teachers will be higher, and student performance will increase. Finances, just like in every part of life, are key in order to maintain a successful learning environment. By changing from a 5-day school week to a 4-day school week, we'll significantly cut down on costs for both schools and entire school districts. According to an article in the USA Today, Peach County in Georgia needed to fill a $1 million budget shortfall, and so to do this, they decided to switch to a 4-day school week. It was either that or they needed to lay off 39 teachers, so they assumed, why not give it a try? With only 4 days during the school week, the teachers didn't need to take as many days off during the week because they had an extra day in the weekend to get stuff done. Peach County is now paying roughly 1/3 of what they originally paid in substitute teachers' costs, and they found that substitute teacher costs for school districts are some of the biggest expenses. An article by the U.S. News talks about a similar case in Colorado's Garfield School District. They needed to save roughly $500,000 and ended up saving around $480,000 just by switching their school week. And obviously they considered this to be a huge success. They ended up having to pay the hourly workers less, such as bus drivers and cooks, because they only had to pay for 4 days instead of 5. The teachers were still salaried and therefore made available to students 5 days a week. Saving money can obviously make you happy, but there are so many ways that switching to a 4-day week improves everybody's morale. Only having to go to school 4 days per week instead of 5 will help both students and teachers to have better morale while they're actually in school. Research done by the Seattle Pie, a newspaper in Seattle, Washington, has shown that the 4-day school week provides more opportunity for rest and a less stressful environment. The extra day allows students to get caught up on sleep and rest more. Both students and teachers have the extra day off, which helps them to get caught up on work. And when you're caught up on work, everybody knows that you're less stressed the rest of the week. Students involved in extracurricular activities also will be able to miss less school because events can be scheduled on non-school days now. The Global Post talks about that since teachers will be more content and happy, obviously this will trickle down into the students. With the extra day off, teachers will have more time to prepare their lessons, which will in turn make them better teachers. Everyone always seems to perform better when they're happy and less tired. Having an extra day off can also increase time that families are able to spend together. Students don't have to miss class to go on trips with their families since they have an extended weekend. Also on days off, students that are in sports and other extracurriculars can have practice earlier in the day, which gives them more free time during the day to be with families and friends. Now that students and teachers are both happier at school, their grades, test scores, and overall performance also echo how beneficial the 4-day school week truly is. The article that I previously talked about in the USA Today says that in Peach County, Georgia, both test scores and GPA were reported as increasing. The superintendent of the district said that the graduation rate would increase to over 80% for the first time in years. The Global Post talked about the results from a study done by Tulane University on the same county in Georgia. And they found that there was also a correlation between the shortened school week and a 40% drop in disciplinary action. And that was huge for them. Less discipline helps keep students in the classroom, which in turn obviously helps their performance. A study done by Mark Anderson and Mary Beth Walker, the authors of Profit of Education, compared a couple different school districts in Colorado, some that have a 4-day school week and some that have a 5-day school week. As you can see here on these graphs, the blue lines are the schools that switched to 4-day weeks, and the red lines are the 5-day weeks. In both situations in math and reading, the schools before they switched had lower amounts of students in proficient and advanced categories, and within 2 years after switching to a 4-day school week, had surpassed those schools that had a 5-day school week and had more students scoring in proficient and advanced. I think these statistics really speak for themselves. The improved performance in the classroom just adds to the already huge benefits of saving money and improved morale. In conclusion, switching to a 4-day school week can be so positive for a school district because it cuts down on cost, increases both student and teacher morale, and helps the students to perform better academically. Critics have put forward many criticisms toward this non-traditional school week, but I have shown you in this speech that these are obviously not viable arguments. The pros greatly outweigh the cons, and I personally wish that I could have experienced a 4-day week instead of a 5-day week, because I know it would have benefited me greatly. I truly envy all of those students who get to hit the snooze button on Monday mornings. If you want to be one of these people that gets to sleep in on Monday mornings, I challenge you to go to the school board and help make a decision that will be beneficial to all. I hope you have enjoyed listening to me talk today, as I personally enjoyed all of your guys' presence. Thank you so much.